this episode of Pamthunzi podcast. Remember, this is a platform where we discuss several issues that affect our communities, and also we share real life stories and experiences that shape us. I am your host, Priska Gosida, and my colleague,
Robert Edward Magasa. Today we are addressing a deep and personal but crucial topic: trauma and recovery. A lot of us are going through a lot of trauma, but finding the right tool to healing is a challenge.
So in today's program, we'll discuss more about trauma and recovery, like Robert has said, but we'll go deeper into understanding how trauma affects people and also understand the kind of support that is there. Nde program yathu yatsikulo tikhaso tikucheza ndi alendo awiri monga mmene timachitira nthawi zonse tikhatiucheza ndi munthu amene wadusamo muzintozi amene anatifotokozere how they were affected and the kind of support that was readily available for them. Later on in the program, we'll also be joined by an expert amene angathe kutifotokozera kuti kodi nkhanizi kwenikweni zimayenda motani.
Guest wathu woyamba amayenda bambo ndi mzimayi amene adadutsamo ndithu mu nkhani ya trauma. Nkhani yake timva tokha tonse pano, tiyeni timvetserebe ndithu.
Takulandira program yathu yatsikulo lero, choyamba tikudziwe.
Ine ndine Linda Chimango Geoffrey.
Nkhani imene tikambira yatsikulo lero tikambirana kwambiri za trauma and recovery. So you're one of the people that came forward to say you have your own experience imene you'd like to share with us. So ino ndi nthawi yanu kuti mutifotokozere kuti kodi nkhani yanu ndiyo tani.
Zikomo kwambiri. Choyamba ndithokoze chifukwa cha nthawi imeneyi. As I'm about to share my experience so that someone can be of help. I know like a lot going through it. Others are about to go through it. As in life, that's the reality about life. And I would never want someone to go through it and never overcome it. So that is why I'm here.
That is so brave of you, and we're very, very happy that you're here, so that in this episode, a lot of people can also get strength out of your story. Please do tell us what really.
Okay. Yeah, I would say I know we all pass through things that we are traumatized with. And izimakazo ndizosiyana.
Yes.
As we all know, but I feel the pain is the same. For at this point, as human beings, it's more than pain. You're fanana, where you are not able to see yourself. You have mixed feelings. You're out of control. You can't even recognize yourself. You question your character, everything, whether you're at fault or not. But it affects you greatly. And despite that the pain is all the same, I would still talk about the source of my trauma. Zithandiza ntwena ukuthi different experience komaso we know who is going through the same experience. Yes. Exactly what I experienced. So mine was based on divorce. Yeah. So I'm here, as I said, I'm here not to talk about what transpired. I'm here to talk about what I felt when I was passing through it, how it felt, how I survived it, though it wasn't easy. Yeah, so
it must have been very challenging for you. But I'm very proud of you. Just you came here to just to share the story, because this alone is a true testimony that you are actually healing. But my obstacles anje, I mean, munakumana now, more process ya healing.
Despite the pain that is common, the feeling that is very common in trauma. So young, it was based on I trusted someone. You know how weddings are, marriages are, like love is. Love is natural. We can't deny that. Okay, and I trusted someone. It's like you have a brother and the one you grow up with, maybe they protect you, they love you, beyond it comes a point where you can challenge people like this one cannot do this, this one can do. You just trust someone. These are shocking events that you don't expect. Kuti uyu angapange kapena ichichi chingachitika kwa ine. You might hear, we might watch movies zimakhala kuti zili patali, we make fun of it, we put comments, now it's happening to you as a shock. Zangochitika, now the pain is unbearable. You at that time you're in total darkness. Kamasa kwa uyangana, you don't, like, you become numb. You're sad, you have mixed feelings, you have anger. Like umangomva zinthu zosiyana, you are in your own world. It's like during transition you have to experience that on your own. As Christians, I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, so we believe in transition. Where I don't have a mother anymore, I don't have sisters to protect me, lawyers to protect me. You are in yourself. Yeah. So it's either you deal with it or not, but it's not easy. And it's very painful. I would say more than death.
Talking about pain, but my event, in your healing process, and maybe you can actually talk about that event and say, really, that was the painful moment, and really, that was the lowest of my life because of that trauma.
Yeah.
What sort of event would you share?
I recall there was a time I wouldn't eat for 3 days without realizing good is in because that time, as I said, I'm a Christian and so there was that time when you inside the house and as you were out fast sometimes. So kusadia kwa ine silimaziwa kuti ndimunya. I wasn't eating for 3 days, and siku lina la start around 12. I went to fridge kuti ndikatenge drink. Is when mwana mandifunsa kuti, "Mom, fasting day number 3, mama sula manso. Why mukumwa drink 12 o'clock?" I was like, "What? Am I fasting?" Then she's like, "Yeah, you haven't eaten Gwembelezana. Zero up to date." I was like, "Oh no." That was when I realized that no, something is going on with me. I was like, "No, I'm not fasting." And I tried putting the paper because I really was stuck. And the second thing, the other day, I drove out. Well dressed, that many of church, and I had to park somewhere. I stopped because in my mind, to me it was like but I was fully dressed. So yeah, it was like, so I had to stop, and I kept running after this woman. I was like, like something like that, like Devala? Yeah, she was a bit older than me, like, yeah, Devala I was not convinced. I felt like I was naked, but never. So I had to stop someone, and I knew I was lost. And at this point, I didn't even care. You don't even wish to live, okay? It's just by the grace of God. The moment you find intuition, so these are some zina mazinto zimene.
Alright. I understand ukuthi ndizovuta kufotokoza. Komano ndibafuna kwambiri ndive kuti mukukumana ndi zinthu ngati zimenezi munakwanisa kulandira thandizo la mtundu umenso chifukwa ndizozona zoti sometimes it can be hard to seek for help, because in your case you're able to realize that something is wrong with you. Were you able to seek for help?
Okay, as I said, you withdraw yourself from others. You just feel like being alone. At the same time, though I'm trying to kufunika thandizo kuma iwe sumazinga kufunika thandizo. So like for me to get help, it wasn't direct me seeking help, or maybe at some point you feel like you could trust someone, even your best friend to talk to. Zimakazi is hard. You just feel like something like that. So there was, I developed headache, severe headache. And this other day, I met someone who showed Sukarit, whom I knew as a family friend, who is a doctor. So I was like, like I've tried kumama painkillers, mudu sultan, succeed. Then he was like, okay, come to the hospital. That was Queens. I said, well, where is it? Yeah, I know I'll be there. If I'll be busy, I'll refer to someone. And Nabanga realized my BP was high, very high. But it was so double. Why am I still like active? And that was my healing process, where my healing process started. The Dr. Padala, Sanandus, Udi BP Yanga, Yashuda. Komanu chimena nabanga anaziwa kuti what I was passing through. Chimena nabanga, that person, I would say I'm an introvert. Yeah, I like to keep things to myself, especially as I feel like at least I kind of opinion that depending many my feel. I was so scared, like something like that. So Zimena Bank and I'm be straight to a psychiatric doctor room 6 Queens. And he tells me like, you have to meet this lady, the doctor said. Then I did. So you think am I crazy? So my thoughts are just on about what was happening with me. I was like, I was even more confused. No. She'll talk to you, just go there. I swear my first help started. So I started counseling from the very first day, though it was hard at first, but that was my first recovery process, apart from spiritual counseling as well.
So what's your advice for somebody who is going through trauma as well, but they're feeling like to get help?
First of all, is that you have to accept. It's not easy, but you have to accept. Whether it's death whatsoever, you cannot go through this. In 4 times I wanted to kill myself. 4 good times I wanted to kill myself because you feel like it's useless to live anymore. Someone and you blame yourself as there. First of all, we should accept. If I've lost someone I loved, because life has to go on. You are human. No more never to accept this has happened. That's the first step. If you don't accept putting in situation, there's no recovery for you. How do I face it? Yeah, there'll be feelings of you still feel those things. So that you can accept because you have to face people who will be questioning you, and as we lose, and a journey. Pama feelings, but first you have to accept. No for me healing starts there, and you should be able at least to talk to someone you trust, whether the best friend or people whom you trust. At least you can trust someone. If you're not your pastor, your best friend, at least, or at one betray and talk, you feel comfortable with. Mind you, talking about it helps a lot. And without that, I wouldn't even be talking to you about these issues here. So you accept, you trust to talk to someone. 100 uyokuze umangomva my voices like the pain is just too much. You feel like okungomuyangana muntu chonje ukona ngata akunenewe like you at fault. There's just a lot of voices in your head and someone's akamagona makhanga ndi muntu akonomo kuyenda lokho but no. So you need to talk to someone will be able to say that you people jatu aliyesa naona it helps aliyesa naona chabuno na kusaba balibe no one is perfect. First of all you have to understand could even you ine mwina ndikankwaza trauma yanga what I went through, but you have your own past life, you have your own things. Everyone has many mungana blingi. First of all you have to realize that no one is perfect. No one has gone through something or the other. Once you accept that ukapanga realize kuti inendi ne muntu pasekula pasifana chimene ndikudusa mwina nadusa wina zadusa chizakhachi kuchitikana. So you accept. You should have a purpose for your life. Ukakhala muntu oti china ichi chose sine kuchitikira umaziwa kuti ineyo these are my strength. You have the whole self esteem in you, right? Umakhaza ndiwo muchilipo chimapangisa you that boldness. Uti ukasamba ka ukavala you feel kuti you walk kuti this is who I am. Then need once you accept umazindikira pang'ono kuti inetu ndino wakuti and I was concentrating on the good things that maybe I did for people. I was concentrating and hamene mabonda whether I feel kuti orenga kawantambala they survive with it. You don't have to be selfish now. Wabanga accept ziko timakhalirana as we are now. I'm here because of you, you're here because of me. That's life. You don't have to be selfish. No self-pity. Osazimvera chisoni zachitika basi. You cannot control someone's heart. You cannot control someone how someone feels about you. You have full control of your own feelings and acts. So the obstacles are there, yes, but we are there to overcome them.
Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. I know that wasn't easy, that was hard, but thank you so much for being brave enough to share your story with us. Like you said, tukhulupirira zona zota Malawi ena aphunzirapo ndithu from your experience. Thank you so much.
Akuti dziko timakhalirana. This has been a very moving conversation. And we thank you so much for coming in. Your courage is everything for you to share the story. In her story, we see the power of acceptance and talking to the right people, the power of the community, and to accept that now I want to heal. It's not easy, but somehow there is there. So look for it, and people are always willing to help. Welcome back to Pamthunzi podcast. It has been a deep conversation and a roller coaster of emotions. Now, joining us is an expert. I'll let him introduce himself. Welcome to Pamthunzi podcast. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you very much. My name is Bellings Nzungu. I'm a mental health practitioner. Yeah.
Ndiye no nkhani metu kambiyana kwambiri lero ndi nkhani yokhuza na trauma. Ndiye no you're coming in as an expert kuti muthandizire kumvetsetsa kuti koti kamakamba kuti trauma kweni tukamba chani.
So I will start with the trauma. Trauma is a feeling that happens when you have experienced something unexpectedly. I'll give an example. Maybe walandira utenga madzidzi waifa chinzori sumayembekezera ya. So umakhuzika monena kuti no sunga pite sokina kulikose you cannot move. Even thinking yako umazaima many. That's the trauma. So pangisa nzosiyana kwambiri. For example, death yo mwina ntchito choseda popanda chifukwa china chilichonse kulankhulana komweko mwina mawu oti sumayembekezera. Yeah. So in the second part of recovery, tikhoza kukhuzidwa ndi nkhani ngati maliro 2-3 days you feel sorry for that. Kuma afterwards life has to move on. Kuma mapeza kuti mwina munthu for some months even chaka chose munthu sangu kwanga beri kako. Yeah, so it's a gradual process.
So at what point does it become an issue now? Could you can't get trauma as you're putting it, could recovery because and how for just a short period. At what point does it become a problem? What are the signs could I need help?
So I'll give an example of my scenario that in life. We have what we call academic life, kwa mena kupita ku school. Kukatumina mapanga chito ma business, that's what we call occupational life. Also we have families, whether you're not married, mama kabendi family yotika, relatives.
Yes,
that's the social life. So the county is really affected in 20 minutes. For example, mina kuchita kuja asiya kupita, you can go kumano you cannot perform. In class muja you need concentration. Kumaweza uti sisi kuenda. Really shocked, traumatized. So you can stay the whole week. Kumano class, kumano osava mujina jijose. Maona pa family baja. Umanari muna zijeza kubanga interact ndi anthu kuma siku kuti munthu angozipanga isolate. You are not even talking kwa munthu. Muna ndi masiku. So you can see kuti it's not the same person. Umakona kuti wasiti.
So how does that now affect an individual? Somebody who's going through that, what are the effects? Apart from the general things that you have said, could maybe it affects their day-to-day life?
I would say the effect is different. I would say it's subjective. Trauma yomweyo pakola kadi mina alipo at 5 ngabo experience bizintu zofanana. Mina la kusini muntu akugwaga ndi pamwamba kugwera pasi kumwalira kumwepo. The feeling imene anthu akhale nayo ndiyosiyana kwambiri. Choyambira munthu amakhala ndi tinganena kuti moyo wake wa tsiku ndi tsiku umakhala affected mwina ngati appetite kubwera ku nyumba mwina kukupasa chakudya chilichonse osafuna kutani kuchichirako lako sabwerapo not that kuti chakudya sichili bwino koma iwe psychologically mutu ndi kuti you don't have that need kuti udye komanso after tikagwiragwira ntchito you need to rest to sleep. So munthu amakhala so kuti one, toward makaribability. You can go over bed but just stay the whole night. Mpaka na mama tulosadani.
Images on traumas.
The trauma it was symptoms this at the same time, ukagona mama jamani akutsuka kumaina kadi affected kwambiri. They can sleep continuously. Muna 2 days pass. Ina timanena kuti self care kunika usambe kumano munthu amafika pozipanga mati neglect. You can stay even for a week after the summer.
Komano, in terms of healing or the healing process, what steps do you take as an expert to help those that are going through the trauma process? What are the steps that, what do you do? Let's say in Damwira Wujbadara, what are the first steps you take to help?
The first step, we do what we give a platform and we listening here. I need to get the story from the beginning, so that muntu jagama photokoza timakadi kumva kuti okay can they like it so the first step we get the
listening
story and we quite non-judgment right sidima mpanga judge we let the person no bwino sidima mpanga so interact so healing is effect ndi njira zingapo as I said it is a gradual process ya singa kumani ndi muntu teroli kulankhula naye then ashumutu apanga heal. So the mabanga scheduled madima sessions so we have what we call psychotherapy counseling. Psychotherapy is whereby you take the person back so that mabanga support counseling is whereby you want to help Muntoja, you don't provide a solution. Komano after akapanga disclosure, you said madam goes there. But okay, now put a and gravel. For you to move forward, what do you think it can get money? Then Muntoja relate and said my goes that. Then we do the processing that your intervention counseling there. Put the Muntoja at no step towards the journey, recovery. So it means in a tiger goes attached. They could do manas after a week. They need to access the body from point to Mana. Yeah, so we know about my theories of counseling and my research. Ndosiyana siyana. Counseling is so langiza. That's what I should say. For kama mulangiza it means kuti muthu ja kupanga sport good, right? Koma no apapa we are just trying to make the person understand the problem and understand my stages ako na udabanga accept, then has to move on. Pamafika ma stages ena ona kuti mwina counseling apa kasikula ntchito.
Ndimafuna ndingozo wako kunena zoti kodi kumatha kukhala mwina madelays ena amene akuchedwetsa kuti mwina full recovery isachitike pa patient.
Yes, zimene zimachitika. For example, permanent pakhale trust banthu awiri client wako chandiwe so that mende mana ma disclosure munthu amasuke akufotokozere kuti mavuto ake ndotani. Koma for example, let's say kuti mwina munthu uja is closely related ndine akhoza kukhamina ni m'bale wanga koma mwina chimene champanga affect is something private choti samasuka kunifotokozera ndekuti akhoza kubwera mu session nja koma andibisira nkhanichi.
Yes.
So akandibisira nkhanichi ndekuti solution imene tikukambirana panopa magozi ati we are not addressing
the proper issue
problem. So pamakhala barrier ngati imene komanso ine ndakhala kuti am judgment munthu wafotokoza zinthu zija koma ine ndikuonesa kuti ndikumpanga blame. That will obvious affect kuti ili msabitike sana. Yeah, komanso nthawi zina tapanga set mwina magozi angapo. That's why timamusiya munthu ja kuti magozi anja apange developeka. Not myself fag and said it matter unrealistic because
yes.
So na kuti munthu yasanga kwanisa. Maso likapanga set ma sessions mina 5 6 it means kuti nthawi meta kuzana ichi kuchataze kuma. For example, munthu wabwera akamzana lero then watenga 5 weeks or sabweras. It will be hard. Yeah.
My next question is actually to you. Our previous guest here, I listened to her story and it was deep, emotionally involved. But you hear these stories every time you work with these individuals. As a profession, how does this affect you in your normal daily life?
Yes, that's indeed a great question. Zimajitika, we have what we call vicarious trauma. Vicarious trauma is whereby different situations, like you keep on listening to these stories.
Yes.
Mina uthandiza anthu, for example, anthu my first time responders aja akhoza kukhala twachitetezo mina munthu wakhabida makamona ambira ndiwo azathu amagwira ntchito kuchipatalacho. So even ngati face on health practitioners timakumana situation nakuti munthu akufotokozera nkhani so tachika kwambiri ngati nkhani akufotokozera chete ikudusimna munthu mona akulira. So what happens is kuti no ifeso kuti we are not immune.
No, sure.
Timatokaso ni vuto na peso timakafikira swanza tusakutana atithandizesa. Komano what we do is timapanga balance, timati work life balance. When you come uchito kuja you listen my stories aja. That's why tikamapanga counseling. Timakhali timafotokozera kuti khani ile yose metukambana munomo tikamatuka pakhomo tikhangati adani yatheramo. So I should switch myself kuti ndabwera kuchito wankhani za munthu ndikamatuka pamene pachi I should make sure that I leave everything that my file jani does this our first good. When I go back home ndikapanga interact ndi anthu bwino so that sindibwera somewhere.
All right, thank you so much for being with us today. Matipasa information yofunikira kwamba imene ndikhulupirira zonazo kuti amalawi aphunzirapo chifukwa ife patokha nafenso taphunzira ziwiri zitatu ndithu from our conversation. This marks the end of today's episode of Pamthunzi podcast, where we've been discussing trauma and recovery. Join us again next time in our next episode. Pametiza kaisudukambirana another sensitive issue. You have been with me, Priska Gosida, and my colleague
Robert Edward Magasa.
Until next time, bye.